Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me. Today, we reflect on the third word of Jesus from the cross. In the book of John, chapter 19, verse 26 to 27 says, When Jesus saw his mother there and the disciple whom he loved standing nearby, he said to her, Woman, here is your son. And to the disciple, Here is your mother. From that time on, the disciple took her into his home. At first glance, this saying may seem quieter than the others. It does not contain the same strong emotional cry as, my God, why have you forsaken me? It does not sound as triumphant as it is finished. But this third word is deeply beautiful because it reveals the tender heart of Jesus in the middle of suffering. As Jesus hung on the cross, he sees his mother Mary is standing nearby along with the disciple whom he loved. And most likely, Joseph has already died by this point. So Mary is in a vulnerable position. And Jesus, even in his suffering, sees her pain, sees her future need, and speaks word of provisions and care. He says to Mary, Woman, here is your son. And to the disciple, here is your mother. From that hour, the disciple took her into his home. What does this shows us? It shows us that Jesus is still thinking about others, even while carrying the weight of the cross. He has room in his heart for his mother's sorrow. He is not swallowed up in self-concern. He is attentive, loving, and responsible. That is remarkable. Pain often narrows our visions. When people suffer, and understandably so, they can become focused only on their own hurt. But Jesus, in unimaginably agony, still cares for someone else. He notices Mary. He provides for Mary. He does not overlook her because he is in pain. And this also reminds us that spiritual faithfulness includes practical love. Jesus is accomplishing the greatest redemptive work in history, and yet he does not ignore a very human responsibility. He cares for his mother. And sometimes people act as if spiritual matters are the only thing that matter, while practical needs are secondary. But Jesus shows us that love for God and love for people go together. Let me give a simple example. Sometimes a person may say, I care deeply about ministry, but neglect their family responsibilities, their kindness, or their daily faithfulness. But the life of Jesus teaches us that holiness is not abstract, it is practical. It appears in compassion, responsibility, and care. Another example might be this. Imagine someone going through a very difficult season, maybe illness, grief, or financial hardship. And yet, that person still notices another person's pain and reaches out with kindness. There is something Christ-like in that. It reflects a love that goes beyond self. This third word also points to the formation of a new family around Jesus. At the cross, relationships are being reordered. Mary is entrusted to the beloved disciple. The community of faith becomes a place of care and belonging. The church is not meant to be just gathering of individuals. It is meant to be a family where people take responsibility for one another. That is a timely word for the online audience today. Many people are lonely. Many are isolated. Many are carrying burdens quietly. Some are watching this message from a place of grief, confusion, or emotional distance from others. The third word from the cross reminds us that Jesus sees human need and he calls his people to become a caring community. So, what is the application? First, learn to care for people in practical ways. Love is not only a feeling, love provides, love notices, love acts. Second, do not use pain as an excuse to stop loving. Pain is real and suffering is serious. But Jesus shows us that even in hardship, love can still move outward. Third, be open to the family of God. The church should be a place where people are cared for, not forgotten. And maybe one more application is this. If you feel unseen today, remember that Jesus sees. On the cross, he saw his mother's tears. He saw her need, who responded with compassion. He is still that kind of Savior. The third word from the cross may be quiet, but it speaks powerfully. It tells us that the Savior who bears the sins of the world also notices individual sorrow. He is full of love. He is full of grace. And he teaches us that genuine faith is expressed in concrete, compassionate, faithful responsibility.